Want to speak, please sing Tracy so you can sign up. Or you can see Jennifer. She loves to see all the smiling faces. We're about to begin. There's plenty of room in here. Whoever's in the hallway want to come join us. All right. Well, everybody got quiet. I guess that means I need to begin. Jennifer, are we ready? Here we go. Notice is hereby given pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, Government Code, Chapter 551, that the city of Smithville will conduct a council meeting and a public hearing on Monday, March 9, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers of City Hall, 317 Main Street, Smithville, Texas. Call the meeting to order. For invocation, Reverend Holt, come bless us. And let's all bow our heads that God sends us some rain to this thirsty earth, because God needs to replenish some lots of things. All right, take it away.
Mic check, 1, 2. Let's pray together. God, how we thank you for the blessing of Smithville, for its families and its businesses and its schools and its churches and its rich history that has shaped this community. We are grateful for those who serve here tonight and their willingness to give their time and their leadership to our good city. We ask for your wisdom and your guidance over the mayor and the council members as they make decisions that impact the people of Smithville. Grant them clarity, patience, and unity as they work together to serve this community with integrity and care. Bless the residents of Smithville, our first responders that protect us, our teachers who educate our children, and the local businesses that keep our town strong. Help us all to work together for the growth, safety, and well-being of our city. May all the decisions made here tonight reflect fairness, wisdom, and a commitment to the future of Smithville. Father, it's in your name we pray. We all said together, amen.
Thank you. All right, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. Cynthia, you need a cough drop? Yeah. That's it. Our next item is a proclamation for the Vietnam Veterans Day. And I'm very thankful for our veterans. Whereas on January 12, 1962, a United States Army pilots lifted more than 1,000 South Vietnamese service members over jungle and underbrush to capture a National Liberation Front stronghold near Saigon. Operation Chopper marked America's first combat mission against the Viet Cong and began one of our longest, most challenging wars. Through more than a decade of conflict that tested the fabric of our nation, the service of our men and women in uniform stood true. Today, we honor the more than 3 million Americans who served. We pay tribute to those who have laid to rest, and we reaffirm our dedication to showing a generation of veterans the respect and support of a grateful nation. And whereas the Vietnam War is a story of service members of different backgrounds, colors, and creeds who came together to complete a daunting mission, it is a story of Americans from every corner of our nation who left the warmth of family to serve the country we love. It is a story of patriots who braved the line of fire, who cast themselves into harm's way to save a friend, who fought hour after hour, day after day, to preserve the liberties we hold dear today. From Allied drained who won every major battle of the war and upheld the highest traditions of our armed forces. And whereas 11 years of combat left their imprint on a generation, thousands returned home bearing shrapnel and scars. Still more were buried by the invisible wounds of post-traumatic stress in Agent Orange, of memories that would never fade. More than 58,000 laid down their lives in service to our nation. Now and forever, their names are etched into two faces of black granite, a lasting memorial to those who bore conflict's greatest cost. And whereas our veterans answered our country's call and served with honor, and on March 29, 1973, the last of the troops left Vietnam. Yet, in one of the war's most profound tragedies, many of these men and women came home to a shunned and neglected to face treatment unbefitting their courage and a welcome unworthy of their example. We must never let this happen again. Today, we reaffirm one of the most fundamental obligations to show all who have sworn the uniform of the United States with respect and dignity they serve and to honor their sacrifice by serving them as well as they served us. Over half a century after those helicopters swept off the ground and into history, we pay tribute to the fallen, the missing, the wounded, the millions who served, and the millions more who awaited their return home. Our nation stands stronger for their service, and on Vietnam Veterans Day, we honor the proud legacy with our deepest gratitude. Now, therefore, I, Sharon Forrester, Mayor of the City of Smithfield, do hereby proclaim March 29, 2026 as Vietnam Veterans Day. I truly appreciate all of our veterans. Okay, we're going to move on to number 5, approval of the minutes from the correction to January 12th, 2026 council meeting. Oh, Kathy, I just jumped right over you, didn't I? Sorry about that. I was all caught up in my Vietnam veterans and I forgot about you. Please forgive me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor, council, city manager, thank you. I'm Kathy Danielson, the director of the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here tonight to report with y'all on October, November, and December of our hot funds expenditures. And this is my first time doing this, so please bear with me. Those hot funds are broken down into 4 different categories. For the visitor center, the destination marketing, events, with tourism and lodging impact, and then the administrative expenses. You can see that the total for October, November, and December was $10,920.03, and it was broken down for the visitor center between brochures, rack cards, maps, the 78957 magazine, with the total with that 2,094.62. And with destination marketing, we had the Visit Smithville website and social media at 1,800. Visit Smithville signage, 266.41, and the videographer at 2,575. And then ads in magazines and other ads was 3,425. Making that 8,066, and then the admin expenses were 759, totaling your 10,920. And there was a more in-depth breakdown on page 2 that will tell you exactly what that was spent on. It was spent on the postcards, the annual membership dues for the Central Texas I-10 Alliance, the final installment for the magazine distribution. We had some Smitty signs installed, the smaller ones. I've been told this was done before I got here, but there's new signs, the smaller signs with the QR code. Photography, we have gotten those photographs to Sundance Expressions, and we do have a lot of new visuals that we're going to be able to use in this upcoming year. We had banner ads in the Round Top publication, and the video contract, we've had videos, some phenomenal videos that I were just able to take a look at today that we're going to be able to use. Sundance Expressions Expenses, that's who takes care of our social media and our website. And expenses that were reimbursed to Susie Cannon as she worked on the hot funds expenditures. And the ad in the Texas Park and Wildlife, and the new little Smitty decals, and I don't know if y'all have seen them, they're about a 2-inch by 3-inch that has the little QR code. I know, Subway wanted a whole bunch of them that we delivered to Subway when Councilmember Jenkins let me know that they wanted some. But they have a lot of visitors coming through on 71 that stop at that Subway, and they're asking about downtown Smithville, what we have to offer. So you just take that little thing, scan that barcode, takes you right to our website. So that's a neat little thing that we have. That's the report on that money. Oh, one thing I do want to tell you, we are operating as business as usual, and we're doing everything that we think that we're supposed to be doing, except we don't have a contract. That ended in December of 2025. So until y'all tell me different, I'm gonna keep on keeping on, right? I'm gonna be selling Smithville as fast
Hey,
as
city
I
manager,
can. So
hey, city manager. You might,
listen,
we will get in front of that. Thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
bringing it to our attention.
oh, okay. But hey, all right, and we'll keep on keeping on. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
One question, Kathy, how are the collections on the hot proceeds looking in terms of a trend?
We have no idea. We haven't even invoiced you for the second quarter yet because we're kind of, I know you're getting with Elisa and Elisa's getting with you on that. Yeah. So we just need to invoice you. But like I said, we don't have a contract yet really to know like what to invoice you for. It'll be a lot. No, I'm just kidding. We need as much as you can give us.
I'm just looking at how the collections are proceeding, and it's a question that can be tied into the city secretary report in just a minute too, so thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
But since I jumped over Aspen, guess what? Come on up here. Our next one is presentation from Highline and Aspen on fiber optics. Well, welcome back.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. Thank you for allowing me to speak. You guys have a wonderful community. Every time I come in, it's such a warm welcoming. So, introductions. I work for the Aspen Utility Company. We're the general contractor for fiber optic construction throughout entire Bastrop County. Highline is the ISP, the internet service provider. So we're going to be constructing their network. Basically, where this funding comes from is a Boot 2 project. It's funded by the state of Texas. Basically, the state of Texas identified Bastrop County as some underserved areas that don't have good enough high-speed internet. So basically, the state of Texas is throwing a lot of funding to get this network built. So that's where all the money comes from. That's who's funding this project for the most part. Now, that said, this is going to be like basically a 3-year project. The Boot 2 project is for 2026. Then there's a BEAD project of 2027 that is a national funding program, which is by the United States federal government. And then there's going to be private equity funding from Highline as well. So some of you may have seen Highline around. So but they're basically growing their network so they can serve everyone with high-speed internet. But the Boot 2 project is the first section of it. Smithville is one of the first areas that we're going to be building in. So in Smithville, you guys will get the privilege of seeing our trucks, seeing all our lovely faces around. Red Rock is the other area that we're starting construction in as well. So those are kind of the 2 hot spots right now. So far, we've only done aerial construction, but we are going to be starting to do underground construction. I don't believe we started doing locates yet. but that should be coming along. So, now I wanted to get into expectations a little bit. Like I said, this project, the Boot 2 is going to be finished into 2026. We have 550 miles that we have to construct, which is a pretty fast timeline. You're gonna see a lot of crews, county roads, tech dots, all that sort of stuff. Any one of our crews should have proper signage. So, I mean, if you're like, who's that crew? It should say the Aspen Company or a Quanta Service Company, because we're owned by Quanta as well. So the reason this is important is everyone here has a right to stop work. If you see something unsafe, whether it's our crews are being unsafe, whether it's unsafe for your community, whether it's unsafe for police officers, fire department, whatever, anybody has the right to come up and stop work, anybody. And that should be treated with the proper respect. So the reason I say this is you see our company logo, and you see something that you don't like, you can come up and stop work. So we're here for the community. That's the truth of it. This project is getting built for the community. Our customer Highline, if we do a bad job, they're going to get no customer retention. So we have to do a good job for them, so your community wants their service. So that's the big aspect of why we want to do so good. I always say construction is construction. What makes us different than another contractor, another construction company? What makes us different is our claims department. We have a department just for claims. Like if we damage something, you can call that number, you can send an email to that number, and that's what they do. So restorations, restitution, claims, that's a big, big aspect of what we do. And we really hold our hat high on that calendar of things to do. So that said, this is underground construction. The majority of this project is underground construction. Underground construction is dirty, it's muddy, it's messy. We're gonna have water line strikes. We're gonna have sewer line strikes. It's gonna happen. So, but what we're committed to is sticking there with you and helping out your Smithville, Bastrop County, just in general, on how to resolve this as quickly as possible and painlessly as possible. We have crews, they won't leave, when they call in the strike, depending on your water department, if they want us to fix this, if they want us to help fix it, we'll help out with any way that we can. If we have to locate a line, we'll have excavators there that'll dig, so basically we want to help the community as much as we want, or as much as we can. The goal is to have as little of a community impact as possible. We got to get in and get out because this project is moving so fast. And that's just the realistic side of it. Other things that you guys are going to notice, we're going to start doing locates here. So you'll see a lot of crews out painting lines, staking stuff. Then the next thing is, before we start doing work in your areas, like say we're on your street, we door tag 48 hours before. So now, a lot of people just throw away door tags. A lot of people get something on their door, they'll just throw it away because it's trash. We take photos of the doors that we door tag. This is to help people realize that construction is coming down, to help minimize calls and complaints, because you're the guys that get all the calls and complaints. Like, unfortunately, as much as I try to get our name out there, our phone number out there, our contact info out there, they know you. They've known you for your entire lives. They're going to go to you guys. But the hope is really we're the ones that are going to fix it. We're the ones responsible for any of the problems that needs to come to us. So I have given contact information out from our last pre-construction meeting. And there's that Highline.
Those up front have all your contact information, and they've been very good about anybody calling in. I think communication hasn't been a problem. It hasn't been a problem, so I guess the message to get out there, if you see something happen and it's Aspen, you're welcome to call City Hall. The girls are well equipped to take care of it. He has been very open and knowledgeable from the beginning of he came and had a meeting with us and sat down and brought all of his people to the table. So I think you've done everything you can do. And if you're putting out door knockers, all the neighbors here, I believe, all speak with each other. But if you have a problem, I think he's here to help ease your mind that if you have a problem, please contact the city hall or one of us, and we'll get it to him. But he's been very open, and, it's construction. Like he said, there's no telling what you're gonna find underground, so. But thank you for doing everything you're doing.
One last thing I want to say is with this installation of this fiber optic network, we install a lot of pedestals, vaults, flower pots, so you'll see stuff in the right of way. Like whether it's a 3-foot pedestal or a ground level handhole. A lot of people don't want that in the middle of their yard. We can move that more towards a utility easement or maybe more like a property line. We have no problem doing that. We can do it within reason, but that is something that we're flexible on as well. So again, use our contact information and we will be more than happy to help.
I have a couple of questions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I've got one.
First question, that makes me ask, are you entering through the front of the house or through the alleys that majority of the city has?
So
Ground.
there is,
Everybody both.
there's some aerial in the city and there's some underground. I think it's a mix of front easement, rear easement. And if I had a plan in front of me, I could show you, but I think it's a mix. So it's one of those things, that's why I like to throw it out there, is if it's kind of in the middle of your yard and you want it more towards the edge, let us know. We can do
Just
that.
because I would say probably 60-70% of our city is alley based.
Is rear easement. Yeah, I know, you guys have a lot of utility easements and alleys and all that sort of stuff. So generally, we'll try to stay there.
Perfect.
Because that's where the easement's at.
And the other question,
Private property at all.
okay, perfect. The other question I have, there was actually a homegrown fiber optic company that originally started here in Smithville. But they actually didn't go south of the tracks. And that's something that I found surprising recently. Are y'all planning on servicing the entire city limits, or are you just staying north of the tracks, or?
I believe it's the entire city limits. I mean, it's all of Bastrop County.
Okay,
So again, it's like an underserved population size. And from the private equity side of the build, if Highline's already building out the city, they're gonna try to hit all the addresses because it affects their return on investment the best that it can. So yes, that's the goal. But depending where you live, it may be 2026 or more like 2028 on when it gets built out. So it just kind of depends a little bit on the quickness.
For the more uncool, unhip people like me out there, what is this stuff that you're installing and what's the benefit of it?
So it's very high-speed internet, basically the highest speed internet, next gen internet capabilities. So the whole thought of it is that Bastrop County doesn't have a lot of those capabilities right now. And that's what we're bringing to the table. And that's why it's funded through the state and through the federal programs that it's getting funded through. So it can affect a lot of things from the business development side. More companies may come to your area because you have access to higher speed.
Because it's a more sophisticated application and that we're basically expanding the service area and making this product more available to more people.
Yes.
Trying to help you out there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And that's a little bit more the service provider, Highlines, tag, like that's what they're selling you is, hey, this is gonna affect more people. I'm more the construction side on telling you what our responsibilities are. So But yes, you're.
No, I understand, and you gave us a lot of the watch outs for what may be occurring, but in terms of a more generalized application, why are we doing this? And it's because it provides a better, more modern service to more people.
And I always say, you look back at the winter freeze of 2021, when all the cell towers were down and like you couldn't, if you fell off a ladder and broke your leg, a lot of people weren't able to call emergency services. You know, the way that we're living nowadays, everything's connected to the internet. So it's one of those things, the faster, the better the network, the more it's going to improve life for the community. So I don't know if that answers the question.
No, it did. Thank you.
And one thing that, oh, I'm sorry,
That's
Kathy.
okay.
Go ahead.
That's okay. This is one of the objectives, if I understand what I've heard, is you're filling gaps in the rural areas that previously did not have high-speed internet. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it will be 100% coverage, or will there be areas that you're unable to lay the line or provide the service through this project?
It should essentially be 100% coverage. That's
awesome.
what the grant's for. So
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, we're not, repeat it. We're not picking up everything you're saying. This is being broadcast.
sorry. It should be about 100% coverage. Again, there's different kind of stages or phases to this build out, but the idea is that this money was granted for the county, so it should affect everyone within the county.
That's awesome. And is there a map, or maybe you've said this already, so forgive me, but to show where you will be working prior to door hangers, like where we could maybe, you know, be able to say, hey, to this group of folks in this part of town, they're going to be in your area for the next week, or is that something we could coordinate, Jennifer?
So yes, we provide street sheets.
Yep.
We provide everyday street
It's
sheets.
been 3 sheets weekly.
So, yeah.
Just so everybody knows that Highline is an RTA are the same company. RTA was bought out by Highline, so they're the ones that have done the fiber. And I'd like to give a shout out to Adina, because Adina started this whole project a few years ago. And she is the one that has wrangled this, and she has just really done a good job. And that's why I'm going to say she did this and got us first, because she wanted Smithfield done before anybody else in the county. Go ahead.
I'm good.
It's a $66 million grant to Bastrop County. It will cover about 20,000 spots that had no coverage at all or very poor coverage. It's somewhere between 800 and 1,000 miles of cable, buried cable, and it has to be done by December 2026. So they are going to be turning dirt very quickly.
I just have one more thing to add. I want to say that your service is so much faster than anybody else's. I use the speed test, and Spectrum is way slower than these guys. These guys are off the chart because of the fiber optics. It really is a great internet.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I didn't realize my mic wasn't on. Can we send Kathy the printout of the, yes, she'll send that and then you'll have it, okay? Now we are on to approval of the minutes from the correction to January 12th, 2026 council meeting minutes, February 5th, 2026 special called council meeting, and February 9th council meeting. Everybody had a chance to go through it?
For the benefit of the public, what is the correction that's being made on the January 12th meeting?
I can
Our
speak.
city clerk can speak to that.
Thank you.
As you can see right here on the very last paragraph of the minutes, it was the closed session. I had nothing on there. I didn't say no action taken. I didn't say anything, but actually there was action taken, and it was on the contract for the city manager as recommended in closed session. I just added that verbiage that it was proceeding with the contract and the vote that was made.
And the result of that was unanimous approval to make an offer of employment.
Correct. And that was just left off completely. There was no real change other than it was just not there at all.
And it was added to the January 12th meetings. So it's going to be the last two paragraphs on the January 12th meeting that are now present. So when you make the motion, will you please state that?
Okay. Got it. You ready for a motion, Mayor?
Go.
Go ahead. Okay, I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the correction, which are on the last page of the January 12th, 2026 meetings, council meetings, the February 5th, 2026 special called council meeting, and the February 9th, 2026 council meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Motion been made in second. Councilman Dunham,
Yes.
Meek,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
Okay, motion is approved. Now we will go into a closed meeting. State when the city council will hold an executive session pursuant to Open Meetings Act, Government Code Chapter 551 in accordance with the authority contained in Section 551.074 to discuss personnel, the mayor. The city council will also hold an executive session pursuant to Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, Government Code, in accordance with the authority contained in Section 551.071, consultation with an attorney on seeking advice on pending or contemplated litigation, or B, a matter in which give the attorney to the government body under the Texas disciplinary rules and professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551, abatement in eminent domain. And the time we are going out is 6:31.
Okay. Everyone, we're fixing to come back into meetings after the special session. So we're going back into the open meeting. Okay, council, I need to know the preferences of how y'all would like to proceed with this. Do we want to do, I guess what I
We
would
need
have
to-
to say, there is a complaint against the mayor. And we're going to have a meeting to determine and hear the complaint and to determine whether to move forward or to dismiss it. We have to do that in an open meeting. So that's where we are right now, and I'm asking for the council's present, which way they would rather do it. Through a meeting or through a two councilmen and a individual citizen that will make the determination within 30 days.
I prefer the council method.
In terms of when we say council, you're talking about holding an open hearing.
Full council, yes.
So the options that we were provided based on that an ethics complaint was filed against the mayor in having outside counsel evaluate the evidence that was presented, there were a couple of elements in there that, if true, possibly rise to the level of having violated our ethics policy. So what I am agreeing with Counselor Meek is that we move forward with our own investigation, and we use the two choices we had were to do an ad hoc ethics committee or to do an open public hearing with the full council. If we were to do the ad hoc ethics committee, those findings would simply come back to full council and we would go through the process again. So what I'm recommending is that we go straight to the public hearing so that we don't have to do this twice. Those are my thoughts.
I agree with Councilman Meek.
Yes. All right. I make a motion, the city council call a special meeting to hear and determine a complaint against the mayor.
I second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
How do we determine the date?
The date will be determined by when all of us can be here, and our city secretary will send out 3 different invites and dates, and we can all determine which date we can all attend. And that point, it will go to our counselor, and he will send out the notices to all the people involved with Sharon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thomas Gush, independent outside attorney serving as special counsel.
I'm sorry, but you're tall, so you have to raise the microphone or bend over.
There you go.
Will this help? Thank you. For the purpose of the public who's behind me and may not know who I am, my name is Thomas Gush. I'm an independent outside attorney who's been hired to serve as the Ethics Commission counsel in this particular matter. And I just wanted to clarify one thing. A couple of times in y'all's discussion here, y'all mentioned a public hearing. And I want to be very clear that it has not yet been determined whether that hearing will be held in public or in executive session. It must be part of a public meeting, just like this meeting. Public meetings can have executive sessions. And I don't want the public to be misled into believing that the hearing is going to happen at the podium in front of, God and everyone. I don't think that has been decided yet. And there will certainly be a decision point at some point in the future to decide whether that will be here or in executive session.
Can we make that decision here tonight?
Does that decision include whether the mayor and her party will want to go into executive?
Just as in any other personnel matter, the Open Meetings Act allows the person who is the subject of the complaint, in this case, the mayor, to force the body to have that discussion in open session. And so should the mayor decide that she wants it to be in public, she has the ability to make that decision. She does not have the authority to force you into executive decision, into executive session. That decision is made by the presiding officer of the meeting at which that will be held, and that will be held by Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Jenkins, because the mayor will have a conflict of interest in that case.
All right, let's get through this motion and then we'll make a motion, or would you rather I restated it and we go back and we make this all in an open meeting? Council?
I'm reading through the ethics policy on page 17 under public hearings, where in section E3, it says at any public hearing, the complainant must appear and is responsible for presenting the complaint. The complainant bears the burden of establishing facts supporting the complaint. To present testimony, the complainant must be placed under oath. So I think what Mr. Grush is explaining to us is that while we call this a public hearing, it doesn't mean that we have it in public. It could be done in executive session.
Yes, sir, that's
And
correct.
at that point, the mayor could ask us to come out and have the hearing in public.
Yes, that's correct.
Do we have the authority to say this will be held in public? It will not be an executive session?
Yes, you do.
And we have the option to do the opposite as well.
To do the opposite, meaning you have the option to put it into executive session?
That's in a public this same public meeting, but we go into executive session during the public meeting.
That's correct.
Okay.
To be technically precise, that decision will initially be made by the presiding officer of the meeting. The presiding officer always has the authority to decide whether to go into executive session or not. If council wants to overrule the presiding officer's decision, that there's a Robert's Rules of Order motion. Sorry that we're going into Robert's Rules of Order here, but the motion is called appeal the decision of the chair. And so if that motion were made, it would come down to a majority vote of council to overrule the decision of the chair. And that's why I said ultimately it's council's decision.
Does the complainant have any say in whether or not the hearing is held in public in council chambers? Can he request that?
No, he may not.
He may not. So he has no choice in here. It would be up to the mayor to either make the decision herself or that we can say, we're going to come out in public no matter what she wants. She can't require it to be in executive.
That is correct.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, only the council has the ability to go in there and y'all can overrule me.
I'm interested in hearing the thoughts of my colleagues on that.
I'll go with as the motion ends up, if it adjusts or if it stays where it is, I'll turn that decision over to the Mayor Pro Tem. I don't have an opinion one way or the other.
Kathy, any thoughts?
What's the question?
Do we stay in open meeting or do you want to have the option to go into, we have the option anyway, but do you want to start this all in a open public meeting? Or do you want to make it an executive?
I go with executive session.
Executive section.
I've got a feeling that, never mind, I will follow my colleagues.
Okay. If we go into executive session, we don't have to pronounce that right now. We can do that when we hold the session. We can go straight into executive session.
That's correct. The motion on the floor is to call a special meeting for the purpose of hearing and determining a complaint against the mayor. There's no further details in that motion. It can be, if that motion passes as currently read, then the city secretary will work on finding a date for that meeting that is convenient and acceptable for everyone who needs to be at that meeting, and get that on the books as soon as
And
possible.
if the mayor chooses to have this in public, she can notify us ahead of time and then we would all know that it was going to be done out here instead of in executive session. Because she can exercise her right to have it held in public.
She can exercise her right at any time, right up until the time you go into executive session. Even even after that, I suppose, if she's in the middle of the executive session, and decides she wants to move it back out here in the open, she can do that at any time.
Any more discussion?
No, sir, I feel like that we're basically leaving it up to her. We're starting it out in executive session, and if she chooses to bring it out to public, that's up to her.
Okay, so we
Agree with
have,
that.
we have a motion and a second. Brandon,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes?
I say yes. Tyrone,
Yes.
Mitch,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So where are we? We are on going back. We are going to go back in to the executive session pursuant to Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, Government Code, in accordance with the authority obtained in Section 551.071, consulting with an attorney on seeking advice on pending and contemplated litigation or a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct by the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551. And it is 7:42.
8:18.
All right, here we go. I gotta find my right paperwork. The time is 8:18. We are back from our closed session, back into an open meeting. Discussion and action as a result of the executive meeting. Go, Brandon.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize the city manager to begin drafting a resolution to begin eminent domain process on a portion of lot 100-A, block 43, city of Smithville, Bastrop County, Texas, and also allow him to begin negotiation processes with the property owner to find an amicable solution.
And the abatement part.
And the abatement is no action.
Okay.
Second?
Motion been made in second.
Third.
Dunham,
Yes.
Meek,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
All right, here we go to,
Yes, will be, yes.
do you want to do, where did she, do I want, P and Z is, okay, we're gonna jump to number 11. Sorry, y'all are, I know. Hearing recommendations from planning and zoning on a minor replat combining two lots into one for 304 Burleson Street, parcel 19436, legal description, Smithfield Town Site, block 26, lot 2, and fraction of lot 3, property owner Robert and Mary Cartwright, agent Alexander Burren. Take it away, Caroline.
Hello, everybody. This was basically a very simple replat of two lots into one because the homeowners wanted to build a porch or a carport onto their house, and it was onto a part of the next lot. So since you can't build over the lot line, you had to replat to make it all one lot again. It's very simple. Nobody came to complain for or against it. And it was a unanimous vote. There's only 3 of us were there that night. We had two of our members. One was sick and one was not able to be there. But we voted to approve it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, public hearing. Anybody signed up to speak? Close the public hearing, go back into the open meeting, discussion and action on a minor replat combining 2 lots into one for 304 Burleson Street, parcel 19436. Legal description, Smithfield Town Site, block 26, lot 2, and a fraction of lot 3, property owner Robert and Mary Cartwright, agent Alexandra Burren. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve a minor replat combining 2 lots into one for 304 Burleson Street, parcel number 19436, legal description, Smithfield Town Site, block 26, lot 2, and a fraction of lot 3, property owners Robert and Mary Cartwright, agent Alexander Burren.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and second. Councilman Dunham?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
All right, that one is approved. Now we're gonna go back to number 9. Where's my ESG people? Discussion and action on acceptance of Phase 2 development effort, wastewater treatment. Dun, 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 dun. Come on.
We had to make sure we come with the appropriate amount of height. Yes, ma'am. I think we can do this. Yeah, this works. Good. Everybody here? All right. Dignity Mayor, Council, Mr. Frazier. My name's Jim Johnston. This is our 4th time, I believe, presenting in front of council. Tonight, we're here as Energy Systems Group to discuss moving forward to the next phase of the wastewater treatment facility expansion. I know there's a lot to cover, so we're going to keep this very, very brief. But if anybody has any questions, please feel free to let us know. We have completed our project development agreement that was signed a few months ago to be able to develop out the conceptual design of how to address the shortfall in the wastewater treatment facilities capacity as it exists today. We are ready to move into the next phase to take this project up to 60% design, which would allow us to go
Somebody.
Somebody in the hallway. Yep. It's also echoing off this, I think. Yeah, just a little bit. Yep. No, what we're here to talk about tonight is moving into the second phase of the design effort. Essentially entering into what's called a pre-construction development agreement that takes the conceptual design that we've done, where not only have we been able to fully meet the city's needs, we've been able to increase the living unit equivalencies by 1,500, which is a fairly significant increase. And well, there we go. Having a hard time seeing it. We are going to be leaving the Gasly plant in place, but expanding out Willow, modernizing your lift stations. We're going to be doing some significant infrastructure upgrades, while at the same time with what we were originally looking at, we've saved the city close to $6 million off the budgeted cost, as what was previously projected. There we go. So what this,
Jim, where's that 1,500 LUE number?
we didn't put it up here. We were gonna talk about it originally. It's 1,548 LUEs. That's on the low side. It depends on which standard you're using. Sometimes it's 2,100, but it's 1,548.
And that's after the full execution of this plan?
That's after the expansion of Willow.
So we would go to 1,548-ish. Okay.
Yep. So
Another question I have on that, you said leave Gasly in place, but the document says to decommission it.
it's not so much to decommission it. We are just not gonna be modernizing it.
Okay.
We're essentially creating a force main section right over by the wastewater treatment facility. Because if for some reason Smithville were to experience some significant immediate growth, we could come in, modernize the plant, and free up some additional capacity to be able to address those needs. We don't want to decommission it, have to bring it back to where it is.
Yeah, and a big thing is we are not giving up our TCEQ
Sir.
permit. That will stay alive no matter what we do with this.
So the desire is to just temporarily divert away from it.
Yep.
And then modernize it later.
Exactly.
And it will be not even functioning at that point?
No, it won't be.
Okay.
Nope. It'll be ready, but it won't be functioning. And the other nice part is all of your operators and your plant workers will not have to continually maintain and fix issues.
How does that work with TCEQ? I mean, how do you take a pause? I mean, what do we?
You just don't let it lapse.
Do we have to jump through to keep? No.
Nothing.
Okay,
No, you just don't let it lapse.
okay.
So it's business as usual.
And that should help with some of the complaints from nearby neighbors and
Absolutely.
like that.
Absolutely.
And can you say how many LUEs we have presently in our wastewater?
Right now, you guys are, the last check was 198
Available.
available. Yes,
Available.
So
And
we
we are
would,
going to increase to 15,000,
1,548.
1,540.
And that's on the low end. We're working on the actual true number because there's going to be a little bit of puts and takes that need to happen. But if you look at two different standards, 1,548 or above 2,000.
Okay, around two, yes.
that's additional,
Additional, yes.
so 1,800-ish.
Ish. That's if you want to shoot for middle ground, 1,800 works.
And then the fallback plan is if we experience immediate growth, we can come back and
And then essentially you're bringing Gasly back online and
bring Gasly back.
exactly.
Okay, so go ahead.
The other nice part is, we have set a target to be able to deliver the full, construction cost, the timelines, everything else that needs to happen, including all the delivery dates for the grants, everything else that needs to happen within 4 months. So we plan to be here back in front of council right in the beginning of August to present, here's the entire project, here's the funding stream, here's all the revenue projections, because this plant, we're increasing the capacity by 500,000 gallons per day, but we're also causing this to become a revenue generator for the city. And that is a very, very important piece because the financial projections, which we're going to be able to share throughout the process as we really kind of drill in onto the design and start mapping out exactly what you're going to be able to do. This project will be net cash flow positive for the city instead of not to put too fine a point on it, a money suck for every public infrastructure project. Raises rates, raises taxes. We're not asking for either of those to happen. This, the way we're talking about doing this is to have this be a self-sustaining project that not only allows you all to be able to grow the way you need to, fixes the existing issues, but it also creates a revenue source for the city. So, and what we're all honestly modeling in terms of those financial projections is the sludge receiving. We're not even taking into account the potable water that comes off the backside of the plant or the Class 8 biosolids that can be sold to various agricultural entities.
So originally, we talked about the potable water as being an opportunity. So you, the icing on the cake is, the sludge on the cake is what we're getting out of this?
Yep.
So, I know that was bad.
As-
Is this a proven process? I mean, if you use it somewhere else and
So-
why don't you explain to the simple people like me how we sell sludge?
So sludge is essentially sold to, let me see if I can bring this to the easiest way to explain it. Smithville's location, you are close to multiple metropolitan locations with a lot of agricultural and rural land that typically relies on septic systems, open pits, a lot of porta potties, and a lot of cities that don't have existing capacity for their wastewater treatment facility. What we're talking about is this expansion that we do to Willow would allow the city of Smithville to be able to receive that sludge, process it, and what's the right way to say this? Be dried out. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yep. Exactly. And it takes all the microplastics out of the waste product. I still haven't done it, so yeah.
It wouldn't be armadillo mulch, it'd be critter mulch. You know, we have our critter, or gingerbread mulch. I mean,
But so there's multiple revenue sources that we haven't even taken into account. We're just looking at the sludge receiving. There's gonna be a lot of other ancillary benefits that happen.
So if we plan ahead from day one, this should be a moneymaker no matter what.
Absolutely.
All we have to do is reach out, make sure everybody knows what we're doing, how we're doing it.
Correct.
We're online. Come on, folks, here we are.
And the need is ridiculous within the state of Texas.
Okay.
You have drivers that will go to Austin, they will go to Houston, they will go to Katy, pull up, try and dump, and they'll sit there for 2 or 3 hours and then be turned away if maybe there's a rainstorm the day before and they can't process. So they go back, then they have to come back the next day. They are looking for a good, reliable spot to be able to do this. And this allows you all to be able to do not only pricing advantage, but control the flow. It is a great way to monetize a public asset. So not only do you not have to go back and say, hey, we're going to raise your water rates or your sewer rates by 3 cents, 5 cents, whatever the nominal amount is. Nobody likes having what they've been expecting the entire time raised up. This is a way to be able to use a very distinct advantage that the city has to not only grow, but also to be able to make money.
so, but in addition to the sludge, did you say gray water?
It's actually true potable water. So
True
yeah,
potable water.
you can consider it gray water. Some people differ. It can still go through a purple pipe and be used for watering parks, whatever the
Nice.
case. We haven't honestly gotten that far because we wanted to make sure this thing truly penciled, and it does.
Where's Randall? He'll tell you about drinking it.
Randall had to drive to Dallas, and no, I as much as I trust Randall, I'm still not going to drink the water.
I can say I've drinking. Okay, we're gonna get you guys to drink the Kool-Aid eventually. I promise. Yeah.
He had hair last time we showed up here. So, so what we're, yep. Oh, no. We've done some rough estimations, some cost savings. We're assuming roughly about $250,000 a year in operational and break and repair cost savings by removing Gasly from the required maintenance process. We've assumed a few escalation pieces, and one of the other big pieces is the grants. And we floated a couple different financing mechanisms to the city. We still have plenty of time to be able to discuss that, because for the next 4 months, we're going to have a lot of really in-depth discussions, process, methods, means, making sure everything abides within the Texas procurement laws. But if we do this correctly, there's so many different tools for you all to be able to maximize the benefit. We're just here to be able to essentially facilitate the means and methods for you all to be able to procure this plant, and then build it out and build it in a very, very quick manner. Because the nice part is, next time we come in front of you after the pre-construction development agreement is signed. In 4 months, we're going to come back to you and say, here's the contract, here's exactly what this looks like. You're going to be able to ask all the questions, it's going to be open for public scrutiny. We're going to have a conversation, and then within a week, purchase orders are going to go out to be able to order all the long lead time equipment that usually adds on 6 to 9 months on the process. We're going to get started right away. And it's going to move very quick, just like this process has. So
How long have we been in the process with y'all?
7 months.
Like that.
Well, yeah, it's probably been,
So we get to August, we're, basically, you're gonna be coming to us and saying, okay, here's everything, we're ready to go.
Yep.
So I'm gonna ask this because this is what's on my mind.
Mhm.
Are we gonna owe any money before then or anything else? No,
Nope.
no money, no.
And that's a very, very good question to ask. So the contract that was given to council Thursday, last week, I believe, for review, is to be able to say, we are going to be covering all the cost up until August. All the development cost, all of the potential geotechnical surveys that we may have to do. We have to answer a lot of questions before we come back to you in August. And we are covering that at risk to ourselves.
So you're asking us to give you the go-ahead
Yes, sir.
at your expense
Yep.
to come back to us in August with a firmed up proposal.
That's right. And firmed up proposal means firm fixed price. So if something else comes out, that's on us, not you.
Does this come from your phenomenal belief in the project that you will do this at your expense?
Uh,
What if we pull the plug on you? That's just,
So that's the one piece that is in there is
Oh.
for some reason, if you all were to say, we don't want to do this anymore, we would stop the clock. And the only thing that you all would be, the city would be responsible for is covering our engineers' time and effort.
covering what?
The cost for our engineers' time and effort.
So let's say 2 months from now, we pull the plug. What would you estimate that cost to be?
So we were 515, 800 grand.
800? Cost us 800 to pull the plug 2 months in.
But you get all the work product and everything else. Absolutely. But the intent is to roll all this into the construction contract.
I get the intent, but we can't snap our fingers and come up with 800 grand if we pull the plug on
You
you.
know, this is when we start having conversations because we're not in the business of doing studies. So if that were to happen, we would start figuring out, is there another way to be able to do this? We would start, the nice part about our contract is, it's the right way to say this, normal public procurement, you talk to the engineer. You float it to everybody, you figure out who you want to be able to select. They spend their time cogitating on every single thing that can go wrong, will go wrong, designing the absolute best thing that they can possibly do. Then you all send it out for bid. Then it goes to the contractors, and hopefully you've written a tight contract, because if not, they're going to come back and change order and change order and change order because certain entities are in business to be able to make more money after the contract is awarded. That can typically take 2.5 years. With what we're doing, because of the fact that we've got the flexibility, we can all sit down and go, okay, you all are considering pulling out of the project. What's going on? Is it you need to divert capital to something else? Does something else make more sense to do now? And we start having those kind of conversations because it's a flexible model. We're not going to come out and say, it's the right way to say this. Okay, we're stopping. Okay, here's a bill. We're going to figure out what's going on and we're going to see if we can do it better.
I appreciate it. I'm covering both sides of the equation. I mean, you know my enthusiasm
Yep.
about this, and but we have a public to educate. So we had a fairly successful town hall meeting last month on a different topic. How would you feel about having a town hall meeting with us and entertaining questions from the rest of the citizens?
Welcome it.
And you wouldn't bill us for that, would you? God, we let.
And-
No, I'm thinking that would be, we were looking for the next topic, and this might be a pretty good one.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, they presented last Thursday, when they presented all the ways to finance, and they've given so many options, from grants to how to go to the to Texas Water Development Board, say it right.
Mhm.
And there are ways, and then at the end, there's a way to get one of their loans that may forgive almost all of it from the Texas. So there are lots of things working with this that you guys have been phenomenal with, and we have one or two
yeah,
grant writers
and-
working with y'all.
Got one.
One.
Yeah,
Yep.
one organization, two ladies that are working with us. I'm kind of leading that effort, just FYI. So yeah, we got several different options. That's what's so great about this model. You can kind of see it here. Basically, this is going to be that icing on the sludge, if you will, you know. But that's how we're
Sludge on
kind
the
of
cake.
treating it. And so we actually just submitted the Clean Water State Revolving Fund PIF last week. So that was in there. So we're estimating around $2.3 million. The water infrastructure grant is going to come out this month, is what we're estimating, be due in July. That one, the max for that is 5 million. But the main thing is here, you guys have a really viable project here with what we're projecting from revenue and savings and all that. So again, this is just that extra gravy. So that's how we're kind of treating this. But we're moving full force to try to get you any free money.
And you could help us educate the community to have the same, I mean, which is a pretty enthusiastic, we may look tired right now, but we're pretty enthusiastic about this project. We just would like to have the community have the opportunity to come in and ask the same questions that we started asking you 3 months ago.
The best part about, and honestly, we'd welcome being able to come into the public forum, do a town hall, because you all have asked some very, very smart questions. The community, it's made up of people. So we got to be able to say, hey, what are your big concerns? Because we're talking about a critical piece of infrastructure that right now is not servicing the public good the best way it could, and is coming close to not being able to meet that. We're going to be able to solve an issue. So we have to talk through, what are the concerns? What are they seeing as the long-term risks, issues, impacts to the community? How is it going to benefit them? How is it going to detract? We both have thick skin. We've been doing this for a very, very long time. We welcome those kind of questions because you never know when somebody's going to come up with something that nobody's ever thought of, and we can figure out a better way to do it. Which is the nice part about this model, the nice part about the contractual mechanism we're using. We can pivot very quickly. You're not going to have to go through and issue every piece of publication ad nauseum. We're going to sit down and go, hey, this is what we're going to do. Just like the $7 million savings that we recognized, we did that in a phone call. We all sat down and said, here's what we're proposing. Why did nobody think of this before? One person that had said it twice finally got listened to on our side. And it was, this is a great idea. It allows us to get exactly what you need. And the nice part is from tonight all the way to August, you're looking at 4 months to be able to winnow it down even more, to know exactly what you're going to get, exactly what the public impact is going to be, what the timeline is going to look like, how much money we're going to be able to get, and then what the general benefit to the city is going to be.
And so the 7 million in savings came from running a force main and diverting.
Exactly.
And what's the 7 million? That's just pure capital, or is that?
That was going to be, we were going to have to redo one of the lift stations. We were going to have to modernize Gasly, bring it onto the control system, and remove it from the stream that we're going to be using now.
Okay.
You're going to treat it like two different plants, and you're not going to recognize the operational savings.
And so there's operational savings on top of the capital savings.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Can you please repeat, you made a statement when you first started and that when Gasly is offline and we're focusing on Willow, how long of a period of time in terms of usage is Willow going to sustain us, or what would trigger you having to go back and retrofit, upgrade, do whatever to Gasly?
With the expansion that we're talking about, current growth rates, we're looking minimum 10 years, most likely 15.
So I have a question about this force main.
Mhm.
How big is it, number one?
We're still sizing that.
You're still sizing it?
Yes.
So again, I'm gonna ask this. I know it's gonna be a force. Since you're building that whole main all across there, can we make sure it has grade and fall? Okay, I want it to be usable after you decide to do something else with it.
So we haven't sized the force main, but we have talked about that very much.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And these are the kind of concerns that everybody needs to be bringing up throughout this. This isn't a one and done conversation.
And I don't know if you're allowed to talk about this, but is this map accurate to the routing?
It's proposed.
Okay.
So
I just asked because it looks like it's going down Second Street, and there's also a massive sewer line or storms line that was just put in.
we're looking at two different options right now. We have not solidified that, and that's part of this next process, is going out and actually doing the testing, surveying, and everything else we need to do. because we have two different options. Whichever one we feel is the optimal solution, we're going to come back and say, hey, does this make sense? Are we on the right track? So.
And then is there, at this point, do we know the funding mechanisms?
Nope.
Okay.
So we know what the funding mechanisms are. How do I say this the right way? We have 4 months to have some very, very in-depth conversations as to what makes the most sense for you all. We're here as the facilitators. We're not your FAs. We can't bridge that gap. We're just saying we've seen success here. This might be a good option. Sustainability Partners is here tonight with us. They could be a very good option where you're not going to limit your bond capacity, especially if you're going to see some exponential growth. But that's not stopping you all from taking out a revenue bond or looking at different pieces, or even just having some very political conversations and having half of this paid for by the state. We've got a lot of options. Either way, 4 months is a long time to be able to do what we're doing, and we're very, very far along for having this only be 7 months from get-go.
I like that option of
the-
having the state pay for it.
Yep.
That's-
Everybody does.
That's one thing that we are doing through that grant process, the Texas Water Development Board. Obviously, the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, you can fund up to $60 million through that. So the work that we're doing now is going to help you guys for 2028, the future, to have a really strong application in case you do want to go after those funds later on. So the main thing is you guys are going to have options at this, and we're going to discuss all that with y'all.
And I don't know if you feel comfortable, but I guess the differences in bonds between a traditional bond and a revenue bond.
Mhm.
So I'll make sure that people here know the difference. Do you feel comfortable speaking about that in layman's terms?
In layman's terms, revenue bonds are all, you're taking out a revenue bond because you're assuming that you're going to raise rates. You're going to raise sewer rates, you're going to raise water rates, anything, but it will go towards the rate payer. And that's how you typically offset those capital expenditures. There's different variants on bonds that you can do, but somebody has to pay. Which is, and this has been discussed a couple of times. So as we go towards that beginning of August date, we're going to have some very direct conversations, because there's a strong possibility, even if Sustainability Partners is the right funding mechanism to be able to get this project kicked off, moving, established, and operational, there's nothing that would stop you all 5 years down the road from saying, it's the right time, the revenue justifies, we're going to take out a bond, because it's a self-sustaining revenue flow, which means you can meet your debt coverage ratio and everything else you need to do, and the debt service, to flipping it over and having the city own it. You have that kind of flexibility, because we're trying to give you guys as much latitude to be able to make the most informed decision possible. This isn't.
Oh, yeah, and I want to reiterate that, because it's when y'all offered that the last time, it was one of those moments again where I go, I don't believe this stuff, but it's critical that we maintain the option down the line. If we decide this cash flows and we want to own it, then we buy it.
Yep, you have a 30-day out period to be able to flip over, and just the more you telegraph it, the better. And it can also be a hybrid model where if the city wants to own it, same kind of structure, the Sustainability Partners guys can actually help maintain it. So that doesn't have to be a responsibility of yours if you run into manpower issues, whatever the case is. Just trying to meet the need.
Asking you this question, but with my colleagues in mind, if we were not to pass this tonight and waited another month, what it would do, and I'm talking about leaving time to get feedback from the community before we put ourselves on the hook for a worst case scenario. It just delays it a month.
Is it a month?
I'm just throwing that out, food for thought for the rest of you.
The cost avoidance, is that assuming Sustainability Partners, or is that assuming we were to just purchase this ourselves?
That's it. It does, the avoided cost does not change.
And that is largely due to Gasly.
Mhm. You have some significant issues over there right now.
And does that include personnel costs, or?
Sure does.
So it's diverting the personnel to other needs and.
Absolutely. You get to focus on what really makes sense. And the nice part is, once this moves forward, all of your lift stations are going to be modernized. You guys will not have to go out and worry about where's the leak coming from, where's the failure happening, what's going on. The systems we're putting in have predictive analytics and maintenance. So we know a motor might be failing. One of the PLCs might be failing in one of the lift stations. something might be going on in the plant, they're gonna know all that and make informed decisions. Because the nice part is, if you go down the sustainability partner route, they're gonna know something's wrong. They're gonna be able to dispatch somebody to go out there and fix it before it becomes a catastrophic issue and the city has water or sewage running down the street. So fixes a lot of issues.
Is there a pathway for us to see a draft contract from sustainability partners before we move forward with?
I already
Did
have
we
one.
receive that?
Yep,
Okay.
I have it. I've reviewed it. I can forward it to you.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I think I would, there's a lot of paths forward.
Mhm.
And I don't think that we'll be on the hook for something that will be detrimental. I don't see us needing to pass a traditional bond that would increase taxes. Worst case scenarios, maybe a revenue bond, but we are also generating revenue from it, so we have something to capitalize against.
Yep.
So I'm comfortable with it, but I think that the path forward that I am most concerned about, frankly, is a sustainability partners. And I think that if we can review that contract and be able to understand it and have our attorney, which he always will, but to have his insights given to us and everything, I think I'd feel more comfortable understanding that that's likely the path we need to go.
Mhm.
And I would rather, knowing that there's going to be a cost if we need to move away from them.
Yep.
Or move away from you. I just want to make sure that we're understanding the full potential outlay of costs
Absolutely.
before we move forward with you.
That's exactly right.
So the rate studies have been done?
Yep.
We're all done. I've got those. Okay, that's in that PowerPoint y'all said.
Right.
Okay, thank you. I will share that with the rest of council.
And that's part of we started out with this being a financial calculus kind of effort where it's what's this gonna take?
Mhm.
Because with the sustainability partner piece included in it, most of the time when you do a rate study, you're looking at price flexibility to be able to say, how much could you actually raise the rates and what's this gonna cost?
So I'm gonna ask a question about, okay, stability, world stability. Right now, we're on all of this fighting and everything. Gas is going through the roof, all the things. So availability to get equipment,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is 1 month gonna make that much difference if something goes crazy?
I don't know. That's just me saying, I don't know. There's a significant amount of stainless steel that's included in our equipment. You're looking at a lot of interesting issues when it comes to controls. The controls piece is I've had people sit out when the last political issues were happening with their VFDs, controls, and a lot of important pieces of equipment sitting in the port of Long Beach and then Houston port, and had no idea when it was going to come in. So I don't know. That's the best I can do. It's a fair question though.
I do understand.
Our attorney is on call right now for this specific item, right? No, I thought he was. Okay, fine.
But this is whenever you all decide the next pre-construction development agreement is ready to be executed, goes for vote, is executed. It's 4 months from there to be able to deliver firm fixed pricing and the entire project with financials, everything else you all need. But we're here to serve.
Mayor, I mean, from what I'm hearing tonight, I'd like to propose that we postpone the decision on this until the April meeting. In the interim, we schedule a town hall meeting and bring them in if that's amenable to y'all. I mean, it's a no action from us is what we're doing, but
So we have a young lady that would like to speak, and so do you mind letting her speak and come up here and ask your questions?
I
And
have
then
one quick
Wait.
question if I can.
Yeah.
go
if
ahead.
That's okay.
No, I don't want y'all to go anywhere.
Could you also mention the grant funding that we're pursuing? Can you speak to your process and how you're involved with that? Because I don't want people to hear we're seeking grants without knowing how we're actually doing that.
Yeah, so again, the approach that we're taking on this is you guys have a viable project here. When you go back up here, you look at what you guys are eligible for. Again, $10 million in total debt forgiveness, 0% interest loans. We went through this process with our partner LDA. You guys were not eligible for a lot of these different categories. But the two that we feel decent about is the subsidized green projects. Again, we're doing energy efficient equipment. It's going to be better for your water usage. And then they have a special category here too. So those are the two that we're going after. Although you have 10 million, we don't want this to slow down this process at all. So we're really focusing on the 2.3 million that'll really go towards like the lift stations and all that. So that's what we're focused on. So you can still move forward here. And if you do get it, you're able to add this to the project. And then that's 2 million basically off the top that you can do. We're also going through the water supply infrastructure grants. Again, that one is supposed to open up this month. That will be due in July. So we are going through that process right now to see what your eligibility is for that. And we will be going after that for you as well. The max for that one is 5 million for you. So we are going through this whole entire project, seeing where those funds are going to line up, where they can best serve you guys based on your eligibility and not slow down the project at the same time.
And I just wanted to point out that they are actually pursuing the grants on our behalf,
Yes.
as opposed to the public wondering whether or not we internally are pursuing those grants, because I know we've had some changes in staffing, and for that reason, I'm sure there would be some folks who might have some questions, but they are actually pursuing it for us.
And you're giving updates back to our city manager, where you are, what you're doing, how you're pursuing it. And
Yeah,
Jeremy
and-
is getting all these updates. And we have a meeting, I think, every other week.
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
And you update us every other week where we are. So I just wanted to make a point that you are communicating with the city and everyone involved.
And even more than that, we've been working with Jill, every other day on going through this whole process with the grants and everything. We'll be doing the same with Jeremy as well. So that won't stop no matter what. We'll go after these two grants.
And Robert Andrade is our new economic development. And I know that y'all have been looping him in on different things, and he's been, I guess, discovering or researching different grants that we need to go after also. And we've been actively looking.
I assume this map is small and you can't really see it, but where the force main is located, it travels in and out of some flood hazard areas. Is your engineering already been done okay, you'll just make that determination and make sure it meets all the requirements?
We could start engineering it, but the thing is, there's going to be some site development, work that's going to need to go through to make sure that's a cost-effective path. We're looking at 2 different ones.
Good.
So-
Okay, thank you.
I think we have one person signed up to speak, Haley. So will you introduce yourself, where you work, and give a little background?
So my name is Haley Nunn. I work in the water and wastewater industry. I work for an O&M company, so specifically we operate water and wastewater plants. My company is currently located out of multiple states across the country. The first thing that I want to start with is if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I heard that comment come from somebody in the back. I have consulted with 3 different experts between in the last couple of hours, and they all say that this cost is exuberant. And these are experts who have been doing this for 25 plus years. So my first question is why is the proposal not public? This is a $32.8 million spend. That doesn't make any sense to me. Have you guys reviewed any outside proposals? Have you consulted any experts? Because you have multiple within the community. I can tell you right now, James Elam, off the top of my head, has been operating membrane plants for the last 25 years. He would be a great resource. Is the engineering company getting a kickback from the sale of the plant? How much is the actual MBR versus the force main versus the lift stations? Well-kept membranes only last between 7 and 10 years typically. Have those costs been considered of revamping those membranes? The other thing that I want you to consider is that reuse has proprietary membranes, which means that you are probably, and those are patented, so you're probably almost always going to be required to buy those replacements from reuse. So your cost is not, it is going to be variable and it is going to be uncontrolled. I particularly and professionally don't understand what a type 1 reclaimed water facility is necessary here. Because while that's great and the bells and whistles are fantastic, the reality of that is that that's overkill in this case, in my opinion. Unless you're going to allow the community to use that reuse water, and if so, is there a plan in place for that? Have you already factored in the TCEQ cost? You guys were also talking about sludge. Have you factored in the cost to run the analysis on that sludge? In addition to that, the final thing that I will add is that with a MBR plant, you do have to typically do extensive testing in order to know when you need to waste and when you don't. Are we going to have additional lab equipment on site? And if so, what is that cost and is it included? That's all. Thank you.
Would you put all of that in an email to the city manager, please? Thank you.
Mayor, we're not allowed to respond to her, but in terms of clarification and statements of fact, I think we could allow Tim to respond to the factual. We can't interact with a direct discussion with the speaker, but you guys could respond to facts. Am I correct on that?
We can't. but
Asking,
we can.
yeah, we can't, but we can ask the subject matter expert. to
Yes,
respond.
he
Yeah.
can, he can respond. You all cannot.
So actually, can I ask you a favor? Can you write those all down and we can go line by line and then?
Can you pick up,
Oh.
please? I want everybody.
Sorry about that. Yeah, yeah. If you can write those down for us, because that's a lot. I can't trying to process. It's a long night. I didn't even realize it was 9 o'clock. If you write those down for us during the town hall, we're going to spend, let's meet up 15, 20 minutes prior to the town hall. We're going to go through those if we haven't already been able to answer them directly. Because a lot of your questions are valid. The 10-year lifespan of the membrane technology, you're exactly right. Which is why the way we've set this up, especially for the cash flow analysis, it's already assuming replacement. That's a really important piece. The testing equipment, the guys are actually finally going to have an office instead of having to drive around and have their office be the truck. Trying to go through some of the main ones that you brought up. The cost of the plant, you're looking at an MBR, how do I say this the right way? We have to cost justify every single thing we do. Not only to all the ratepayers, but we also have to do it through the contract we're using because we have to use what's called RS means. So there's a cost justification for every single piece. Every piece of pipe, every pump that goes in. Let me see if I can remember some of the other ones. Sorry, that's a lot. No. So this is why we should have the town hall, because anybody that wants to be able to bring questions like that, those are legit questions. A lot of the piece, especially with the revenue source and the testing, we haven't even gotten to the point where you all are figuring out what you want to use the sludge for. We're just talking about the revenue coming in to be able to cost justify that instead of coming out with a basic plant that typically takes 4 times as much land room to be able to build. We wanted to go with the MBR because it takes up a quarter amount of the size. We also wanted to do the sludge receiving station to allow the city to be able to make money because it's servicing a need. And there's a reason why we're doing that. The city's population is going to benefit from the water off the backside, especially if it goes for public use. So you all aren't essentially putting an undue operational expense debt on the city, especially if they're watering public spaces, using it for pieces, or even selling the water. They've got the option because it's a resource that it's flowing through a lot of different spots. You're getting resources off the backside. All we're looking at is the front right now. We're going to be able to do those projections later, but that won't be till probably August. Were there any other real critical ones? You want to?
We got to have her on speaker.
Yeah. Oh, here you go.
I think just the main question that or the main thing that I would state is you're talking about being able to use the water. And that is great when you have large golf courses, when you have huge agricultural uses, things like that. Unfortunately, those things for us are outside of city limits. So is there a plan in place to have tanks installed for people to come pick that up? is, like, what does that actually entail as far as long-term? Like, I can see it at, for you guys, like the Hyatt, right?
Mhm.
Reuse water is great.
Mhm.
But we don't have that here.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, well, yeah, and even if we do, it'll be outside of city limits. So, so that would be my main question would be like, is there a plan for how you intend to do that?
So I'll come back to exactly what we were talking about before. The reason we're doing all this in an open model and not just responding to the mail of an engineer's design that may or may not make sense is we even talked about that. Sometimes the general public will come up with an idea that none of us had even thought of or needed to address immediately, because these will be pieces that we're probably going to address in July to say, hey, how do we want to be able to do this? The talking about the tanks and bringing it up as to what that revenue source would look like, how it's distributed, how it's stored, are all pieces that we're going to have to actually legitimately address before we come to contract for the city.
Well, and I'd like to point out, I know that the council can't respond right now, but these are discussions that we've had
Yes.
already in terms of what the future intended use of that water might be, both purple pipe and so on and so forth. So these are discussions that we are actually having already and that we have had.
Yep.
But they're just not fleshed out completely because we're at the 60% design phase. So there are questions left and designing left to be done.
Yep.
Is that correct?
No, it's perfect. Yeah. Because like we even talked about routing, doing another force main, and then how is that directed back? We're not to that point. We conceptualize the project to be able to say, here's what it is, here's rough order magnitudes of what we think, and we're still looking for other VE options. We're looking for a way to be able to turn essentially a public resource into something that can actually make money for the city. So they don't have to spend it and then go, okay, now how do we finance the next project? And we've got a very specific contract that allows them to be able to.
Kim, I'm sorry, I turned this into a one-on-one town hall. Haley, I hope you appreciate the opportunity to, I mean, you got a lot of one-on-one there. But to your point earlier, as a statement of fact, because we have not presented this formally to the public, that's why we're going to do the town hall. And certainly appreciate the information that you brought to us there. And I'm sorry, Mayor, I didn't mean to jump in and cut that off, but I know we've got
No,
other
thank you.
stuff.
But at the end of the day, will you make sure Haley, you have his email and you have city
Sure.
managers? And then will you please list all your questions and your background and so on and so forth? And then we will get a town hall meeting set up. We will be in, because I think we have another meeting with you coming up, don't we, this week?
This week?
Oh, we had it Tuesday.
Next week, next day.
Next week, Tuesday. So we'll come with a town hall date and hopefully we can all get on the page for that. Is that a correct statement, sir? Yep.
Perfect.
So
We
CC.
have one more gentleman behind you.
Oh,
I was just gonna ask, do you want me at the town hall meeting?
Yes,
I'd very much like you there.
yes, sir.
Please.
Yes, we'll send some dates for our town hall meeting and we will be in touch.
perfect.
Are we good?
Thank you.
And Haley, you'll take care of that part? Okay.
Okay.
And thank you. And then I need a motion to table this.
Mayor, I make a motion that we table this until the next city council meeting.
I second that motion.
Are you good with tabling it?
Regular.
Regular. Ooh.
I have a motion in a second.
Motion and second to table this? Do I need to,
Let's call the roll.
hey, we're gonna motion and table second and Dunham,
Yes.
Meek? Jenkins?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
Okay. We will be in touch. Thank you and thank you. Okay, so
We're on 16.
Where?
We've already done the minor replat and all the stuff on Burleson. That's all gone.
Yeah, authorizing money,
Yeah.
tax notes.
Six, yes, ma'am.
put 16, discussion action on authorizing expenditures from a tax note per ordinance 2025697.
At this point, there is only one thing and Jennifer can speak to that.
It's the H&H Door invoice that was in your packet. It was a software that was installed on my personal PC, not personal, my PC and not on the server. And so they had to come back and pull it off of my PC to put it on the server since we did all of the computer upgrades. And then that way it needed to be on the server anyways. So this was the fee to do that. Yeah, $566 to come out of the 2023 tax note.
It's
23?
2023.
2023 tax note. So make a motion for the 2023 tax note.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the expenditure of $596 from the 2023 tax note.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Dunham?
Yep.
Meek? Jenkins?
Yes.
Yes.
Jameson?
Yeah.
Good. All right, 17 is taken out, number 18 is taken out, number 19 is taken out. Number 20, discussion and action on a resolution amending the master fee schedule, garbage and leaf and limb. I think you want to run away?
Yeah. Motion to table, maybe.
Oh, do I need a motion to table them? Okay, number 17, discussion and action on awarding a contract to RFP Management, Texas Department of Agriculture for the 2025-2026 Community Development Fund for eligible activities associated with the Texas Community Development Block Grant Program.
Mayor, can I make a motion to do a consent agenda for 17, 18, and 19?
Amen. Are we all good?
Second.
Motion been made for consent agenda
To
17, 18,
table
19.
17, 18, and
To
19.
table 17, 18, and 19. Dunham,
Yes.
did I get a second? I got a second from,
Got a
I
second.
got a second. Okay, Dunham.
Yes.
Oh, Meek, Jenkins,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
Are we good?
Yes.
All right, now we're number 20. I think. Discussion and action
Yes.
on a resolution amending the master fee schedule, garbage and leaf and limb.
Correct. So, again, it's up to the council, but ultimately, I believe that the consensus at the last meeting, and correct me if I'm incorrect, is that we wanted to leave the leaf and limb as is. And so at this point, if you would just take that action, that should be fine. I've provided information in terms of cost, and the decision is up to the council.
Stays at $10, right? That's
Correct.
what we settled on.
So this was where we had said that if we had left it alone, it would have died, but now we're just formalizing it, correct?
You want a motion? Okay, I make a motion on the resolution amending the master fee schedule for garbage, leaf and limb to be set at $10
Monthly fee.
monthly fee.
Second.
Motion been made and second. All in favor, Dunham.
Abstain.
Dunham, say it again, abstains. Meek,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Jameson.
Yes.
Okay, so we're good on that.
My fee schedule, it has the garbage rates too, so.
Okay, so you need to make a motion for.
I mean, you can, the resolution is approving all of it. So it's not just leaf and limb, it's,
Yes.
yes.
Just-
And Brandon, you can, since it is the whole fee schedule, you can vote on this because it's everything, not just trash.
Okay.
But if you want to sustain, that's fine.
Yes,
Just
that's-
keep the feet. Go ahead. Would you remake the motion,
So
please?
I remake a motion for a resolution amending the master fee schedule for garbage, leaf and limb, and all of the
Fee schedule,
fee schedules monthly.
monthly fee schedule. Is that good? Oh, it's
Second.
badly, I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Okay. Dunham,
Yeah, I am ignorant to this process because I've not
Understood.
been involved, so I'm going to abstain.
you know, she's not gonna vote. Meek?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
Are we good? Yes. Okay. That's discussion and action to accept Cassidy Penn's resignation from the Bastrop County Advisory Board of Health and select a new appointed to the board. And our new appointment filled out a member application, I believe it's Marjorie Tovar.
It's Marcus Tovar, but
Marjorie,
yes.
I always say her
yes.
name wrong. Ms.
Yeah.
Tovar.
And she is very, very qualified. I have talked to the Bastrop County Public Health, and they have said they would love to have her. So if you need a motion,
Give me one.
I make a motion that we accept Cassidy Penn's resignation from the Bastrop County Advisory Board and appoint Margus Tovar to fill the advisory board position for Smithville.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Dunham?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
Number 22, discussion action on amendment to the joint elections contract with the election administrator, the elections administrator of Bastrop County to conduct the city of Smithfield's May 2nd, 2026 general election.
And Jennifer can speak to this as well.
I was just bringing this back because it is a pretty good jump in price difference from what was originally proposed. It's about a $3,000 jump, but it's because some of the entities could cancel their election, and so there's not as many entities involved in the joint election, so it makes our price higher. So it's $9,000, not
6,900.
Can we put that on the 2023 tax?
I don't think
So,
so.
Jennifer, would you?
I
would you-
retract that
For
statement.
for those people that don't understand, could you explain the breakdown of how that cost is allocated and what happens when there's no one participating in an election?
We can contract with the school district, which they don't, they're getting to cancel their election. We can contract with MUDS, Bastrop, City of Bastrop, City of Elgin, and I'm not sure who all is besides the school district. Well, also Bastrop ISD and Elgin School District too. All of those can contract, but some of those are, like I said, have got to cancel their elections
'Cause
due
no
to
one- No one
unopposing.
filed to run against the
So
opposed.
basically, that cost is spread out between the remaining,
The remaining, yeah.
so that's why our price went up.
And then it does give you a breakdown of what that goes to.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
So can I ask a question, please? Where would this, you're talking about a joint election, how does that work? Where would that be held?
It's the same at the rec center on May. Our uniform election is in May, and these other entities also have the uniform election in May, and it would be at the rec center. And it's one ballot, you just like any other election, but it's our May election, not a November election.
But they
Okay.
can also vote throughout the county.
They sure can. Yes,
That's why it's shared cost.
yes.
That's
yes.
cool.
You need a motion? I make a motion that we accept an amendment to the joint elections contract with Elections Administrator of Bastrop County to conduct the City of Smithville's May 2nd, 2026 general election.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Dunham?
Yes.
Meek? Jenkins?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
All right, we are on number 23. Discussion, I think we lost our financial check.
No.
Discussion and action on approval of the financial report.
Yep, thank you. The finance director did leave the finance report. She was present earlier. She had to be excused and I did allow her to excuse herself. She's gone over the financial report with me, with Jennifer. There's nothing irregular in the financial report, but it is available if you would like to go through it line by line.
I do have one question out of the title, specifically around legal services. It's called out, and it's been called out a couple times. I know we've had a few unexpected costs that have come up, but where do we actually see that line item in the budget?
It's
Yep.
gonna be in the general department under legal fees.
General?
It's in the general
So the general fund.
general fund, yes. The department 100, sorry.
Okay, so the administration,
Let's see.
I believe is the first one.
Right here.
I think it's administration right there, but I just want to make.
Back up.
Is it I think it's like two more pages down.
Yeah.
Or maybe at the top of this.
And that's court, this is.
Oh, that's revenue.
That's revenue, yeah. Expenses,
One more up.
streets and alleys, rec center, community services, library. Fire, court, animal administration, yes.
Okay, that's 100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're still, I know we don't have the full breakdown, but we're still within the budgeted amount on that. Do we think that we're going to be okay for the year?
If we keep going the way we're going, we're gonna go over what we're budgeted.
But that's another reason why we don't have the attorney present today, because we're trying to.
Yes, we've had several discussions with him in terms of trying to control costs. And he's provided us a breakdown of meetings that he must absolutely be present for and those that he does not have to be. So because we have so many different things happening this year that require him to review contracts and things along those lines, it's actually increased the fee, the cost of our legal services for that reason.
And is that broken down in the services line? Not, because it's not personnel, right?
No.
Yeah, it's the services. Okay.
And every legal fee that he sends, every, pay request, we have available. So we can always compile those and put those together and make those available if you'd like to see them.
Okay. So in our, where we are currently, we're already utilized 68% of our legal fees.
Well, that's all services, right? So it's also like the IT department, would they be in there?
Think that, but yeah, services is a combined, and I'm not sure what all she has in services. But I could look it up and see, and get with Cynthia to look up year to date, what has been spent compared to what we
Do
budgeted.
you make a note and have Cynthia send that out?
Sure will.
Thank you.
That'd be great.
Y'all good with that?
Yep.
One quick question.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Jeremy, this may end up being a Jennifer question anyway, but when we were discussing the status of hot fund collection in item 4 with the chamber, knowing that we were moving forward with disengaging and taking it on ourselves, and I offered to help you meet one-on-one with everybody. Are we ready to meet with
Yep.
people who aren't paying?
Sure.
Are we really there?
Oh, yeah, we've got a list.
Well, let's have a town hall.
No.
No, I just
Oh.
was curious if we were to that point. I'm sorry, folks. That was not intended as a joke.
We don't have any more dates on our calendar. We've
No
been so
kidding. I
many
think the
down.
whole,
Town
yeah.
hall, I think we need to handle.
I
that
was
one-on-one.
kidding.
Oh, we're
So
gonna handle that one-on-one.
So, bottom line is that we're ready to start taking on collections ourselves.
So we've already crafted a letter to let people know that, yes, we are gonna bring this back into in-house to start coming as you as it comes due.
As they come.
Which is, it's quarterly. Some people like to pay monthly, but usually it's just quarterly. And the contract ends in April. So of course, they'll collect until April for whoever is paying through them. But yes, and then also with the Airbnb and Vrbo and all of those platforms, we gave them a grace period to kind of get their systems to collect our taxes for us. And so we haven't seen any of that yet, but it's going to take them a little bit of time to implement that. So we haven't seen anything from that, but I'm hoping in the next couple months we see some revenue from that.
If you
Thank you.
could also, on that same vein, have Cynthia provide some context to this. We're a little more than 50% through the year, but we've only collected 31%. And I don't know if that comes down to the quarterly payments or if we're actually down that much on hot funds.
We are
Okay.
Okay. So I think,
Hot funds and
better
attorney.
understanding.
Yeah, one thing is, Katie House has closed down, so you're gonna see some things happening with that.
It's for sale.
It is for sale. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions on the financials? I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the financial report.
Second it.
Motion been made, second. Dunham?
Yes.
Meek? Jenkins?
Yeah.
Washington?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
That's it.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Till next time, we adjourned.